Umubaso ya umwanchi umuriyere rwegeta ni Ndizi TV nabo bwansubo mu Gusii kerongo yenali tkoria ondi genderete ko bari toyereke gima nane no genderete kwegokya asoko bwatya emerobero yonse geta ni Ndizi TV nabo obwansubo mu Gusii nigorire litkoria ijuma tariki 20 na Isano na Ibere cyumutiyenyo mutangani omwaka bwekirwe Ibere na 2023 nekera bono ekyombe kia case do bagenderete no Gusii bagenderete umusangirekano bogosemya abantu igoro yo gochenja kwerire umurobero ogenderete ase ensemo ya Gusii murobero inigo ogenderete ase ensemo ya birongo buna tukumanywa no murikyo ito Josephat Amisi gosensemo ya mugonga nigo Josephat Amisi abegete kambiororo asa gutumanya buna umurobero inigo ogenderete kera abantu bagenderete gosemiwa mange kobwatkana no gochenjia kwerire anene mechanderia koretwa kobwatkana no gochenjia kwerire tingaki echo nigo kyombe kerigete tamangana yoburaria kya Media Council of Kenya kegenderete kurwa bosemya gochiasa bararia anene Chinsa bawente gokora emirimo yabo nabo igo Chinsa bawente wetanga kurwase amakongu au ali akubanyora chinga kibare ase obokoreri bwabo murobiri ogendereta asomo bogani oyomo imeyo muchi obosongo chinga karongo kwarigania SMS ya Amayia ya Chinsa Isano na Ibere Chinsa yo wenge eritari ande Everlyne Osero to kubwatirana nere Joshua Auta kabana into ikomerio. Umancho mulira ringo kwarigania kerongo kwenyereno nabo kugendera gotonyora sensemere ya Facebook wetra Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube ni ora tonyora wetra Ndizi TV News nabo go tweet wetra @Ndizi TV News boigo ase website yeto ni ora tonyora wetra www.ndizitv.or.ke erio togendre gusanga amanke ngo kwarigana tujake kurwa se county ya Kisii awase skuru ya secondary ya St Vincent Omwari yo toka sebunge ya Bonchari egendrete kogokera amachibwa Amayia matema manene ye klasi ya 12 KCSE yo mwaka w'ekirwe Ibere na 2022 korengana ne skuru yo nigo ebwate min ya 7.6 ase yabage komenta min ya 4.0 ase korengana no mwaka w'ekirwe Ibere na 2022 no yomo hono nigo yarariwe ko skuru ya kabere yo korete bya ase ebunge ya Bonchari Kennedy Ochodo no morokyo monene bwe skuru yo.
Mimi ni bwana Kennedy Ochodo Osero. Sasa ndio mwalimu mkuu hapa St Vincent Omwari. Nilikuja hapa miaka 2 ambayo imepita, lakini kwa leo nimeona miujiza kwa sababu matokeo ambayo tulikuwa tunatarajia imekuja. Hata imezidi kwa sababu tulikuwa na target ya 6.5 lakini ikaenda 7.6. Hiyo ni baraka kwa Mungu, lakini naomba kama next year this year result ambayo itatoka kama inaweza kuwa 8.1 tutashukuru kabisa, tena wanafunzi wangu watafurahi. Sasa hii kila mtu amefurahi shuleni kwa sababu tumefanya maajabu, tumeshinda mashule kubwa. Vile mnaona hii shule yetu ni mchanga, tena inatoka kwa msituni. Hii ni shule msituni. Lakini tumejaribu. Hata hao wanafunzi wa maskini wacha waende university. Tulifanya wanafunzi ambao walifanya mtihani ni 254, lakini kwa 254 mbili hawakukuja, sasa walipata X.
Mancho mulire noro batrogenderete kubwatwa no murikyo itonde mo Stephen no chikoronyora amange ase egekakere mutwe togotena nayo nigo sector yo bosombi bwa matatu nigo egenderete kwemurungania kubwatikana noko gosino komenta kwerigoriria mafuta egento kyaire obonchorere bwabo gokonga kegima bwatania bwo korwase omuchyo bosongo nigo baganirie serikali kurigereria engane yo na komente kinga ekigancha kya mafuta skiri bagosereirie ocha komenta chibesa chyo kanwa segari kubwatikana no komenta kwerigoriria mafuta
Asamaria tanguru kwantu nyamongo ande mono njene konda gitaya suneka ono bosombi bwa matatu twabere tukwitana ne customer para customer chikare go chabana chikare kuri na chikarime ili chikori na chikarime wona mafuta mna mente te komata suneke to kwimo kali 70 wona customer chigocha echitaite kurwa misini ona ande mono to karigwetana ne customer ko baya mafuta na itu komata sabe chibesa chire igoro
asobo ene serikali itondo chenga bintu mbekele kutochera bijaigo reason oroche ya maisha inaendelea kupanda back to school lakini bado astralisum mafuta rigoro abiboli bakorera baitinga obogima bwato kongero tindu to sabange ngaki serikali ya Rwanda ngenteke tangani etokeria mafuta
chigali ngogora cha premium shuttle chiwo palete almost Kenya yonse esenga kieye na bana skuru jego tuga bana bakagenda biashara bana byakongire na origereri ga bana tongana etoroje na balitwe katari usafiri.
Omurai wense Dr. William Samoei Ruto nigaenekire bune serikali negendrete kubeka emirobere saine yokoenekia bunangu kinya bare obokoreri ase obutumiki bwe Chinchera chiekerero nigaya kwana asa magache misangirikano ake ICC me mucho Nairobi chinga kichogo chake bene omuroberio omanyikante na data privacy.
We had 300 government services as of 2 weeks ago. We have increased that to 600. We have doubled in the last 2 weeks. We now have 600 government services available online. And we are well on course in ensuring that we have 5,000 government services in the next 6 months. And I have also asked the Ministry of ICT to also work on a digital identity so that the big Huduma thing that never was, we can finally have as Kenya a digital identity. And I have told my good friend Eliud that by the end of this year, Kenyans must be able to identify themselves digitally. It is not the work of government to issue IDs. It is the work of government to identify Kenyans. Over the next 5 years, we shall construct another 100,000 kilometers of national fiber optic network to achieve.
Na omurai wense Dr. William Samoei Ruto yobete kaukore taro yaye asense ya Senegal abrit koregoro nigo abete ga kumirana no murai wense yo asbabete bakubekese yo koiwana gochikobwaterera gochikobwaterana erioko kinia amagendro egati ye Chinsa chibere okwana chinga kecho Ruto nigatete na nigo bagochia koenekia barigereirie amakongwari Chinsa ao icho chirasorongo rwa Afrika chiwetera erioko riya richibu na koenekia buna magendro abeire ga korekana negatambukire boigo kya itoko no murai wense yu ya Senegal Makisal.
We've discussed the framework of the Continental Free Trade Area as a mechanism for business people to exploit, to do more business and trade between us as members of this continent. We've explored on matters to do with Africa Union, to see how we can position Africa both in the G20 framework so that we can bring our voice to the G20 and also in the UN system to see how we can position Africa as a member of the United Nations and the United Nations Security Council to see how we can continuously refine our position to make sure that Africa is appropriately positioned to take its place in the community of nations, especially in the United Nations ecosystem. We are truly grateful that under its leadership, the continent has come together to think about our food situation, food security, and to build into it the resilience that is necessary for us to deal with the challenge of climate change and all the other challenges that we have, even as we focus on food production as a continent, to feed our people and to think beyond the other areas of agro-processing, value addition, manufacturing, especially using the base of agriculture.
Muwaziri w'Echemi Ezekiel Machaguni gabwatokire ebitabu ochiase junior secondary anene asaborokiwa ba grade 7 askeria teirebuna kiromorokiwa garage konyore gitabu ekimo kyogosoma nabo igo aborokia ba grade 7 nigo kiromorokia raj konyora egitabu kiaye nabo igo nigatebire gosaganira abayibori koene kyabuna chisku chingaki aborokiwa ba junior secondary barigore chiskuru koene kyabuna bonsi babere bawikirana ase chiskuru erikwegendereria na masomabo.
The start of the distribution of the grade 7 textbooks that will cost the government of Kenya a total of 3,164,365,856 follows the completion of the assessment exercise of all primary schools to ascertain their readiness to host the junior secondary school runners, with the books expected in all schools that have been found suitable to admit grade 7 runners. The government is now proud to launch the distribution exercise, which is expected to be completed next week. And I require to make it clear that the number of primary schools which will be hosting junior secondary schools according to our assessment are now over 20,000, and we'll be giving you the specific number, and those who have not qualified are actually very few, because our major criteria was on the enrollment, the numbers that we have as they transition, and there are others few that will serve as feeder schools to those that will be offering junior secondary school.
Abanyanyimbo kurwase county ya Migori nigo bagenderete n'obutuki eryo kumanya ekyokerere umuriro gwateka ase enyagitari sub county ya Kigonga iyo gutoka kurira west meye county ya Migori umuriro bete ko gwateka Chinsa Isano ne mochi abutuko kurengana n'abamenyi benseme iyo nigo batemete kurimia umuriro yo uyokonyoro beire ko gusamba chifile cyabaroire nabo igo amaryogo asabateneri benyagitari yo bateru nati bamanyeti ekyo yachageti umuriro yo.
The areas that have been affected is the laboratory where the fire started. Up to now we don't know the cause of the fire. We are still trying to investigate. Then this fire spread. We had next we had a pharmacy store, and from the pharmacy store we also had an office and a records place, and the EPI center where we keep our antigens for immunization.
We have lost a lot of items through this fire, equipments nyingi which are worth a lot of money, back running to millions, and drugs sasa are not here, and every hour, every moment we need drugs. So at the moment we need emergency support from the county.
Ekigambiro ye county ya Kwale nigo yatuguteirare ekina yo kwamireria obubwibu mugavana bwe county yo Fatuma Chani ekine kyo nigo kyabegetwe n'abananchi babere asekeria bagotabuna obolimo nabo igo okwena namaki nigo kwaenegetwe ase obochori obwo kurengana n'umunachi ebina Francis Gikonyo ekine kyo nigo getabwate obusaiti boisaine asa Chani aberega kworokia omogokoye na kugania bali bonse babere bagochorwa kubwaterana eriyo kokinya magendero ase county hiyo.
Sikuwa na hata chembe moja ya wasiwasi. Najua watu wengi wana wasiwasi wa kukubali uongozi wa mwanamke. Nataka tu niwaambie wale wapinzani wangu, mama anaweza. Wakuje mezani tuendelezeshe Kwale.
Kama tulivyoahidi na kama gavana alivyoahidi ni kwamba tutafanyia kazi wa Kwale pasipo ubaguzi. Sasa tulikuwa tukisema kwamba uchaguzi umeisha, sasa imedhihirishwa na koti kwamba uchaguzi umeisha kweli kweli.
Kumekuwa na tension nyingi hapa Kwale. Sasa tunajua kuwa biashara zetu, kama mimi ni mfanyabiashara mdogo yani hustler, najua biashara zetu kuwa zitaendelea vizuri, beach zitafunguka, hakuna tena tension.
Kuanzia leo mama sasa ni full governor, tunaomba aendelee kufanya kazi yake kama kawaida. Hii dunia ni single room.
Nekero abarai ao na baigaba bwatani bagenderete gutuma magomba bo guciase amate ya Nyagosiro yo kabiru mu waziri bw'HCM Professor George Magoha nigo bari babere ba okoremeremo n'aba Vice Chancellor se University ya Nairobi abaikeranite asenga yaye eriokorwa engora yabene okwana cinga kiecho nigo bamutogetie Magoha asemereme miyabeteka gukora cinga kiarenge umu Vice Chancellor ase University ya Nairobi ekyo kyaire University yo kogenderera goikabono.
As a university community, we are mourning that loss. Here, I am with others who have served as Vice Chancellor of University of Nairobi. You see, I'm serving as the 8th Vice Chancellor at University of Nairobi. And Professor Mangoha also contributed to the same culture. That's why University of Nairobi, it is the way it is now, a strong institution, because of the way the Vice Chancellors have worked very closely from one to the other to anchor the institution appropriately. So we are here to condole with the family.
We want to share the very good moments that we had with Professor as a good team leader, who, with all of us, was able to create great value for the University of Nairobi and other universities in this continent and the world. We honor him as we mourn him also in life and in death.
Umubaro bw'abantu abo bakure kubwatikana n'oburoire bwa kolera ase county ya Wajir nigo gendrete komentukana awase bali bakure baikire kianda abantu 153 na babere nabo baenekiwe kwambukerwa oburoire obwo kurengana n'umuwaziri bobochenu asensemeyo Abiba Al-Malim nigaenekire bunawe kabono bachakiro bwagachibwe kinyagetari sato nabo igo emeroberio yokoenekia buna kigari kya mentre echo kirakonye goikia amache na mariogo ase kinyagetari bunenchireyemo yo kwangoya obobwenya anena sabanta abo bagenderete wakwa n'oburoire bwa kolera.
Out of the 5 deaths, 4 occurred in community and 1 patient succumbed in Biamado CTC. The other 4 deaths happened here in Seriba. 3 of them died in the community before they reached the facility or the CTU. And 1 patient died in our CTU.
We hope with this concerted effort, largely by the county government of Wajir, but equally by our partners, that in the near future, in the days ahead, we will have sufficiently covered every patient that's in here or those who may be admitted in the days ahead. And in that regard, we hope that our mitigation measures will be sufficient enough to address the problem of cholera in this area.
We have already put up our first tent. We are bringing in more pharmaceuticals. They are on the way coming. And we are posting new staff, 1 clinical officer, 2 nurses, and 1 water technician. We are bringing in, Your Excellency, food for 100 households, 60 for this village, Seriba.
Ababwatani betse mikoro ase county ya Kajiado nigo bakwaneire okugania wo komenta emirubiri isaine ryo kine birengo betsemi ase ensemeyo okwana somo sangerekano bwo konyororo botyo ikiranu kurase kyombe ya Kenya National Examination Council NEC nigo batebire buna amasomo nigagendete koira na magiga ensemeyo kubatkana nemechando au eyegendrete koenekiwa anene ase abarokiwa naboigo ase chiskuru
is both inspiring and disheartening in the sense that it inspires us to relook afresh at our status and also ask ourselves, what can we do to improve?
We need to reset on the way we are handling our boys and girls, because this is no longer business as usual.
There are many schools without laboratories. There are many schools without libraries. You put it rightly.
Mancho muriyereria iganongo ikomerio bwamaya ya Chinsa Isano na Ibere senchira ere yo bwenge korenda na mange togenderete gukobwateria ayora nyora senchira yo bwenge na inde chikoraga Chinsa ikomi bonogendera gutwara uburigereri boro bya ime ya Ndizi TV na bwo bwansu bwo mugusi ekaraba igongo kwinyore na bakogendera gotonyora sensemere ya Facebook wetera Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube ni gora tonyora wetera Ndizi TV News na bwo tweet wetera @Ndizi TV News boigo ase website yaito ni gora tonyora wetera www.ndizitv.or.ke iretariane Everlyne Osero nigo twabwaterana nere Joshua Auta kwene kya buna wikeire asensemo yimenyerero twara uburigereri boro bya nabo igomo basoro motoereru.
Ndizi TV, ubwansu bw'omugusi.
Ebundi engia ni giekorolekana rituko litanganie agoikase emirimo yao ne mashini iria gutumia gusobosera bw'emirimo yao nigo bokorolekana magega yo gutumia chimashini chingia echo chigotoka aseduka ya Gusii Star Shop imeyomo chukisi nigo